Welcome back.
Yeah.
I think we're all super hyped after that last game.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
You know, thanks for, we didn't get to say it, but thanks for Ball State for coming out again. It was a great event. They did very well in Rocket League and in Valorant, and that's not something you can really hang your head down for. You got to keep your head up high. That was a game that could have gone either way, and in a best of three, that series probably goes to 3 games. But at the end of the day, we got Purdue Northwest, who came out on top, and they solidified themselves in the grand finals here. What do we want to say? Oh, we got so much to say.
Purdue Northwest has got to be riding such an incredible emotional high right now because last battle for Indiana, they actually wound up losing league to Ball State here. So you've already got that mental boom coming in here. And then IU, which has just surprised us all. Nobody's heard of these guys. They're unranked, unknown, and yet they're sitting here in the grand finals. You had talked about them. I was completely blindsided by them coming into here. It's just, I'm so hyped.
They are an absolutely phenomenal and unexpected to most of us team. I know you said they were your dark horse.
They are.
You've been right so far. They are absolutely amazing.
Well, as I've talked about, and as somebody brought up in an interview earlier, the CLOL power rankings came out. They weren't in top 20. There is a podcast of group of guys from different CLOL, like colleges and casters or whatever, and players that vote on them. They're not top 20. I don't know if they're just not playing in these events, but this is a very good team. And the best part about them is there are 5 guys playing League of Legends, which that's the best way. Like when you have that atmosphere and you're just all having fun, you all enjoy each other's presence. Sorry, 4 guys and a girl. Let's remember that. I forgot that she was. I didn't realize that until after they won their last game. So let me make sure I get that right. But when you have that atmosphere, it's so much more fun to play. And when you're having fun, you're going to be so much better.
Oh yeah, I mean, watching that team play, they're having a great time. In the interview we saw with, what's her name?
She is Hiccup. Yeah, Hiccup.
With Hiccup, she was having a fun time with that interview. They just enjoy playing League, and they are very good at it, and it shows.
Yeah. It is quite incredible seeing. It really just feels like an underdog story. You have a very, very small program. It's not nearly as developed as what Purdue Northwest has got going on, and you've just been able to come so far. That is, of course, not to discount Purdue Northwest at all. They have earned their spot just as equally. And once again, I'm not really going to come out with a prediction here because I truly think that, similar to last game, this is just going to be knife's edge, constant back and forth, as we are going to be getting into draft here, and that Ziggs ban coming out straight away, as well as the Cassante.
I think those are 2 really, really good bands.
Cassante.
I think those are 2 really, really good bands.
I agree. You're just getting those power picks out of the way. The Ziggs especially was performing. The Ziggs especially was just performing super well so far.
Ooh, the Poppy too. That was what he's been best at today. And the Senna as well. So that means Jarvan's up, Zaya's up, Ori. That's a great Ori band as well. I'm interested to see what this first pick is. Do they go back to the Seraphine?
Instant Seraphine lock there.
Syndra right here, maybe?
Syndra maybe would be interesting, but that opens up Seraphine going mid lane. Or the Akali pick again if they do lock into Syndra. So I'm really interested to see what this Seraphine looks like, especially without the Poppy flex.
Yeah, the Seraphine is going to just be a constant flex pick here. I'm really confident that IU can kind of run it wherever they want. They definitely seem to just have that sort of flexibility, that adaptability, and we are yet to see anything. We're just going to be grabbing an Ashe first pick here.
Are they just going to run it back and say, you know what, Seraphine wasn't the problem, Ashe wasn't the problem, Rel wasn't the problem, our draft wasn't. We're going to pick Jarvan here. You just can't have Poppy. Everything was nice except for the Poppy. I'm interested. And we are we are running it back. So are we going to see Akali again? A brand hover. I don't know why we keep hovering.
There's been a lot of brand hovers, so this is clearly not going to. Well, I don't know. I might be jinxing it.
Do you think they're threatening Brand Jungle with the new Brand Jungle buffs?
They're trying to intimidate them, saying we will lock in Brand.
We will lock in this brand. Vi. We will lock in this Vi, which I like a lot more here. We can't have Poppy, might as well go for Vi. We get some knockup, maybe not as much lockdown and suppression quite in the same way as Poppy and Combo King. Well, we saw Combo King pop off on this. That Akali is going to be locked in straight away with the Silas in response.
So last time it was the LeBlanc response. The Silas response is really good. I do like that matchup a lot for Silas. But it's not like a a super hard counter to a Kali like a Malzahar or a Vex. I wouldn't expect those to be picked either. But my point is, there's a lot of play for a Kali still.
Absolutely, I do agree. I do like the Sylas as well. That Xayah ban coming out as well, just stopping that bot lane from getting, some of those power pick ADCs. I don't know, what ban are you kind of expecting to see coming? Well, that's a Rel.
Rel is not what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It is interesting. I don't feel like Rel was ever a super big factor in any of Purdue Northwest's success when the times that they have run it, but the Jinx. Yeah.
Here's a guess. I expect Braum, and it should be Braum. Because if you're going Seraphine support, you don't want the other team to have Braum, especially Ashe Braum. That's my guess. Got to get out there quick.
I think they might take the Aphelios.
The ban.
Oh yeah, the ban. Braum is correct. I think they might take away his Aphelios though. We'll see.
We are kept on the edge of our seats here. There's just so much that can be
Nautilus.
I actually do like
why
this
did I say
quite a bit.
Aphelios? They have
I don't know what you were talking about. Yeah.
They have
I
Ashe
didn't want to counter you.
Bit of a brain fart right there. It's late.
I do.
Support?
Ashe support?
Oh,
No, I do not want to see Ashe support.
We are keeping that dead and buried where it belongs. I do like this Nautilus ban quite a bit. I think that, maybe it's not Braum in the Seraphine, but it is still a strong pick into Seraphine.
So I want to see the Braum lock right here. Take it.
Oh, Leona.
Okay.
It's good.
That's fine.
That's fine as well. I have no issues with that pick into the Seraphine there. Now
Still could be the Seraphine top that you mentioned earlier.
The Seraphine top.
Nunu would be interesting. I feel like
No chance.
I
Wait,
think it's a Joe cover here. I
don't know
guess.
where that would be.
Especially because you have a Vi jungle already.
Actually, it's a Vi top and a Nunu jungle.
Oh, Nunu mid Akali top, not the Croc.
So they have just cursed themselves with the crocodile.
I think IU just lost the game. Nah, I'm not going to be that. Like I've said before, the Croc has a lot of self-sustaining tools, and as we've seen, he's been able to make leads in the laning phase. Just teams have been unable to transition it into a win, which maybe IU feels they can do.
You think we're going to see the matchup that we've seen quite a few times already in Renekton Aatrox, or what are you expecting here?
I try to say I don't not like Aatrox here, and that's just not an English sentence. I don't think Aatrox is a bad pick here at all. Wait, okay,
Please.
okay, yes, please. I would have loved to see this. I've been dying to see a Gangplank.
Okay, for a little bit of context in why that makes us so excited as well, to start the day, we were talking about it, and I was like, Gangplank is extremely broken, and we all were like, yeah, no one's going to play that, it's too hard. No one's going to play Gangplank in one of these.
It's an incredibly powerful champion. It's just Gangplank is difficult, man.
Yeah. But we got it. We got the Gangplank. So, this IU comp, did they have the Renekton in their other game against...
I feel like they didn't for some reason, but I can't think of what
can't
other
remember
top
what it
laner they
was
would have
either.
picked, yeah.
But they had... It was basically this exact same comp, except for it had Poppy instead of Vi. So they're kind of just running it back, but Purdue Northwest has obvious adaptations to it.
Yeah, I am excited to see how this Gangplank performs. I think so much of how that champion functions really is just going to come down to the skill of the person piloting it. And you've seen this opinion, especially from people who have played a lot of Gangplank or One Trick 'em. It's like, that champion has a close to infinite skill ceiling.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be, I'm just curious to see how it plays, because it's very much dependent on the person piloting it.
I am excited to see this different comp. We haven't seen Sylas. We haven't seen Gangplank. We haven't seen
we did see
Leona.
Klexo play Sylas against Purdue earlier.
You're right.
We did play that.
So second time we're seeing Sylas. First time Gangplank. I think it's first time Leona also.
Yeah, no, we did see a Leona, but it was Purdue Fort Wayne playing it.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
saw it quite a few hours ago.
Yeah.
But still a different comp compared to what we've been seeing overall throughout the night. I'm excited.
Yeah, and like I got to see this Gangplank. It is a classic Renekton counter. I think I played it in solo queue actually recently. I was the Renekton. And, you dash in, you click W, and he just oranges and walks away. Like you're like, oh well, that was cool, I think. And then you get one shot, and you're like, that was cool, I think.
The barrels become very, very scary, and if you've got a Gangplank who can whip out those barrel combos at a drop of a hat, then all of a sudden, that's some big damage.
Yeah, what build are we seeing on Gangplank these days? What are people building?
It's gonna
AP,
be,
of course.
Yeah, AP. I need to see Rallies on Gangplank.
if he doesn't build first.
It's gonna be probably Essence Reaver into Quick Blades, but if you want to go a little bit more bruisey, you can go Triforce into like Collector or something like
Okay.
that. But my guess is going to be Essence Reaver into Quick Blades into Collector or Lord Doms for that.
Just going for that pure one-shot build that
Yeah.
Gangplank is known for.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. 3-item Gangplank just kind of makes me not want to play the game anymore.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah.
might see him one-shot 4 people with a single ability.
Well, there's a lot of confidence to pick Gangplank too, so he might be a pretty good Gangplank.
Yeah, I'd like to see them coming out with the confidence in this grand final.
Yeah, especially in the grand final. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to know your Gangplank because
Got to.
this is it.
And you know, it's great into this comp. You have it into a Vi, who's very good. You have into the Sejuani, or not the Sejuani, the Seraphine Charm. You have a lot of CC to just negate. Just eat an orange and you're good. And this is actually a very good adaptation from what I thought was a kind of a losing draft last time they played IU, but they almost ran it back, except for they were saying, can't have Poppy anymore. That
No
chance,
Poppy.
we don't want Poppy. But Amended has looked very good on the Vi in his previous games against Ball State and against Manchester.
Yeah, Amended's Vi is scary, but honestly, I've been kind of pulling for IU here. I love a good underdog story, but I have to say I do like the draft coming out
Yeah.
from Purdue Northwest a lot better.
This is going to be a very interesting game as we are just moments away from loading into this game. Yeah, I think the players to watch are Gangplank and probably, just the IU's jungler.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? It actually was Purdue Northwest that had the Renekton last time these teams met, but I still can't remember who IU's top laner had. So, but the Renekton has lost, I think, every game today against evenly matched teams.
I feel like it has actually. Yeah, we got a bit of a croc curse going on.
I think we
Oh no, Ball State won it.
Ball State won one with Renekton again in a pretty evenly matched game, but the Renekton didn't do a whole lot. It was just kind of an island, Aatrox versus Renekton, just 1v1ing all game while the rest of the team plays.
Yeah, so I mean, they got croc cursed maybe, but we're gonna see. I just expect a good game. I really do like the adaptation from draft. I think you have a whole lot more answers for this Akali compared to last time where you only had LeBlanc Rel, which isn't great answers into her.
No, it's a great adaptation coming out here. I'm excited to see Pranked on that Gangplank, but like we said a bit earlier, draft is only so much of this game, and Indiana has proven that they are incredible players with great synergy. So by no means, I do like Purdue Northwest draft quite a bit more, but by no means is that going to be the deciding factor in this grand finals of Indiana versus Purdue Northwest.
And you can see both teams are a little nervous. We're not seeing any late invades, any invades at all. We're playing stock standard 5 point for this start of this game.
Yeah, and here we go. The minions will be meeting, and I'm kind of expecting maybe a bit of a quieter first few minutes so far. But once we start hitting those levels, getting those item power spikes, the switch is going to flip, and suddenly the gas will not be let up by either side here.
Let's see if Combo King can go ahead and do all those combos to really just pressure mid lane like he has so many times so far, showing the skill on the Akali.
Yeah, I'm a little interested here by this Silas. You know, he took Conqueror, which after the Conqueror nerfs, I've seen a lot more Silases go First Strike and Electrocute. So I think he's just... I want to see if this Conqueror actually has any value or if there's a lot of times where he would have gotten more value out of First Strike or not. Because he's got a lot of good ults that are very good in a quick combo.
And maybe he's planning on going more of a bruiser build here instead of burst. Wouldn't be the first time I've seen it, but I think that's pretty rare these days.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he'll go Roa. I think he'll go like Everfrost, especially into Akali where you want to have a little bit more lockdown in that 1v1.
Very quiet early game so far, just the trades coming out here. About what I was expecting, honestly, although Klexo and Combo King making some flashy looking dashes on these assassins here. Ooh, Klexo actually taken pretty low, but I am mostly waiting here for level 4, level 6 power spikes. I think that's where you're seeing the most action. Or maybe at level 3.
No orange. Is Renekton have enough damage? The Q is going to come out, but he doesn't
Can't-
have Fury.
It looks like he also canceled one of his autos there. Could have gotten a bit more damage in.
Yeah. Oh, Klexo cancels the Shuriken flip, but does he have enough damage to finish this? He doesn't. He's definitely not going to, but this mid lane is very volatile. Look for one of these junglers to pass towards it very soon.
Yeah, actually, if you look at the mini-map, we see Takona already going on a bit of a roam there, maybe looking to get bit of a cheeky gank onto Combo King. In the meantime, there's quite a CS gap in this top lane. This Gangplank struggling a bit here, and Amended is going to be going up. Oh, Prince, maybe just looking for the kill outright, is going to get the stun off, but Pranked going to walk it off, heading out and resetting.
And Combo King was not even slightly afraid of that Leona gank. They pinged it out really early. They knew she was coming. And overall, not the best roam. Didn't go as planned.
Very smart pathing there from Amended too. You know, Renekton had the push. He was able to stack waves. He got Gangplank pretty weak. Oh,
to Flash with the flash and the hook!
They do have the slows from the Ashe, and Jarvan is here. The first blood goes over the Ashe. Is Loki Dosi going to die as well? Yes, he is. Double kill for Purdue Northwest's bot lane.
Whoa, what a start for Purdue Northwest. That is what they want to do. They want to stop Indiana from taking the reins and pushing forward. And they're doing it right from the start of the game.
Yeah, and you know, they answered that play there from the top side to set this Gangplank behind on the opposite side of the map with just a very nice another engage off the Topona there from that support role.
Yeah, Purdue Northwest is going to be starting off quite nicely here. We were saying, look at the top side of the map, but the bot side so far is when all the action is happening. Prince just keeps running onto Pranked here, getting some nice stuns and trades off. In the meantime, it looks like things are going to be slowing down a bit, although Hiccup is here with a roam. Klexo going to be jumping on the Combo King here. Klexo going to be poked down. That Seraphine has some scary damage. Depoter going to jump on the Combo King. Combo King was just taken down by Klexo. Hiccup looking for the disengage, but the Silas E will find her, and Klexo at half HP, however, as the re-engage coming out.
Oh, he snipes him, and Toponer's gonna fall as well. Double kill for Loki Dosi.
Exactly where Indiana wants the gold to go. Right on that Kaisa, who can just take over the game. That's exactly what they needed after losing those couple first early kills.
Yeah, and it was looking so bad for Indiana right there. And then they turned it around with bot lane just walking straight to mid lane instead of walking bot lane. Very, very aware. High awareness there to make that play.
The communication must have been immaculate there. We do have level 6 coming out for High Prince, but that Gangplank is starting to hurt just a little bit. Klexo going to get that wave shot under tower. Oh, and the ult coming out. High Prince is just going for this. Pranked going to flash out here. You at least get the flash, which is a pretty nice deal as a top laner. Meanwhile, Klexo going to be re-engaging on the Combo King here. Combo King is going to pop that.
Perfect execution goes down. Both of them have perfect execution down, but we're not going to have anything happen. Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits on the Seraphine. She has no flash. Huge play from Doubtful. Loki Dosi is left to his lonesome to just die by himself.
That is a 4-0 Ashe at 6 minutes and 20 seconds. That's a little scary.
This is a scary looking Ashe. The second she back, she's got a lot of gold to spend, especially after catching this wave and getting a tower plate off of that. This Ashe is big and is a problem.
And that's not what you want if you are Indiana here. And Purdue Northwest going to be getting that very early Drake just after it spawns. That Rift Herald will not be spawning for about a minute or so yet. So there's not a lot of objectives that can be traded in response here. And Indiana's just going to have to kind of take the L on this early game so far. They're down about 2K gold, certainly not out. But this is not the ideal start if you are Indiana University.
And you know, going back to the previous game between these two teams, well, before I get to that, stun from Renekton onto the GP. GP is going to go down. Do they have enough damage to kill him? The Orange is just enough healing. Amanda is taking the tower with the cruiser. Oh my gosh! GP! Oh my, that is incredibly unlucky for the side of Indiana, but incredibly well played by the top laner for Purdue Northwest. And to get back to my point really quickly, last time these two teams met, there was a lot of unlucky plays and a lot of small micro mistakes from especially Doubtful, who failed the EQ flash last time, but he's shown this game that he is a better player than what he showed last time, and he's here to win it all, and so is Pranked getting the double kill in the top lane.
That was absolutely insane. That was just a well-timed W from Pranked there, getting that health, just barely getting out, and this is situating Purdue Northwest to be a really, really strong team coming into this mid game.
And Purdue Northwest looks like they might be setting up for a tower dive in the bot lane, or at very least they are going to shove Indiana back under their tier 2 tower. This Ashe got her Kraken Slayer at 7 minutes.
That is a lot of damage to deal with early if you are Indiana. Indiana very much on the back foot. This Rift Herald has spawned, and there is the lane fire. But before we talk about Rift Herald, we're going to talk about Doubtful getting absolutely jumped on here. Amended is going to start putting some kills on the board for Indiana, getting the last hit onto Doubtful. Doubtful just caught out there. And, I mean, there's not a lot that Purdue Northwest can do to punish this. They're just going to have to let their jungler die.
I would love to know how Indiana knew he was there. He must have walked over that ward by the Raptor Pixel Brush entrance. But if not, it was just a pure guess, which is incredible game knowledge to be like, oh, Jarvan's definitely on my red here. Can bot lane move here? I think he had to have walked over this ward, but I'm still super impressed by that. And the E goes wide there, and Ashe is level 7.
That is just a lot to deal
Fire
with.
is already. Flash down and Ghost. Do they have enough damage? The root does land with the slow, and Akaisa takes to 6. Oh no, she didn't. Sorry, that was just a Vi going in the game. But we are seeing more trading here in the mid lane. That's another kill for Indiana's bot lane, and it's a shutdown.
That's a big shutdown.
This game is an absolute barn burner. Just the back and forth kill. I think this might be the bloodiest game we've seen so far.
Yes, it definitely is. This is a high octane fast game, and it's so funny to see both Silas and Akali perfect execution on each other, just dashing around.
Zipping around at the speed of sound. Doubtful is in that top of the Combo King. In the meantime, is going to be jumping on the Klexo, but that healing from Silas, even with the Oblivion Orb taken up by Combo King, is still pretty significant. Unable to really secure that kill there. Pranked in the meantime, going to be shoving in this wave. This GP has got some damage now. That Sheen is a really scary power spike. And High Prince just going to try not and get poked out of lane here. No objective coming up really anytime soon outside of that dragon. About 1:30 on it. You might want to get some vision control, but for the time being, things have slowed down just a tad.
And Silas blows the teleport. He's not going to have it to react to any fights going on. So down the TP, the game is turning around fast.
Yeah, and we did not notice it because we were seeing the play happen bot and the fighting mid, but Jarvan did get the Herald for free by himself in the middle of all that. So they are going to be able to use this to get first tower bot lane if they choose, or they could do it to try and get some gold onto Silas to try and make this Silas back into the game a little bit, or able to pressure this Akali a little bit more. Because at the end of the day, their bot lane's probably going to be able to get the tower in this isolated 2v2 regardless.
Yeah, despite the comebacks that Indiana has made, that is still a really fed Ashe, and that is a lot of damage. Combo King going to be once again jumping on the Klexo here. It has just been back and forth of just these assassins running around that mid lane. The dashes are very silly to watch here. We do have this dragon that is now coming up in 35 seconds, and Indiana would love an objective here to help get them back in the game and on their feet again.
And Toponer is shadowing the mid laner. He wants Combo King to go in, but Combo King is not falling for it. Manages to get out, dodge the Silas. He sees the Leona. Is he going to be able to escape with 3 people here ready to take him down? And he walks out safe.
But all of Indiana is pulling up with that Enchanted Crystal White Herald's Charm goes down onto 2, and we're at a great vial to Toponer to the back line. Is he going to die? The Stolen Silas is enough to kill Loki Dosi. Eamon has to get out. High Prince TP's in, but it's going to be too late.
And that is bot side tower. You might not like quite the kills result of that particular fight if you are Purdue Northwest, but you are getting that tower and you are getting some more gold. You are extending that lead. Purdue Northwest slowly but surely pulling ahead here as they maneuver towards this dragon TP coming out from, I almost said High Prince there, Combo King. Going to at least stop that top lane push, but the second dragon, rather, of the game, going to Purdue Northwest, who are now solidifying their lead as we approach this mid-game.
Indiana needs to find a way to answer this Ashe. This Ashe is just absorbing all the gold on the map. So far ahead gold-wise of the enemy ADC and pretty much everyone over on a used team. This Ashe is going to be a problem, especially getting close to finishing that second item.
That Ashe arrow that came from the bot lane is what turned that fight for the side of Purdue Northwest. It landed onto Combo King, and he was able to just get bursted down by Toponer and Doubtful there. And then Klexo was able to steal the vial and just absolutely dominate that fight right there. That was very well played by Purdue Northwest. And as you said, it is starting to slowly get out of hand for IU, which definitely has, maybe they do scale. Both these teams scale pretty well, actually, so I'm not going to say one scales better, but this top lane is also slowly turning into GP's favor.
Yeah, that GP has finished the Essence Weaver and is working on that second item, and that Rift Herald is going to get that thing very low. In the meantime, Klexo going to be jumping on the Combo King. Combo King does have the Shroud to actively disengage, but the Everfrost and the damage from the Silas is just simply too much, and the ultimate will come out. Combo King simply going down. Great Silas steal there, as the rest of Purdue Northwest are just going to bully Indiana out of their own bot side jungle.
And this is PNW is just kind of running away with this game right now. They're about to get a second tower bot lane. I'm not sure that IU is going to come and contest this. He doesn't quite have the way. He's going to have to back off. But they take the enemy red buff, and they're just absorbing all the resources on the map. This is going to be tough to stop PNW's snowball that is happening right now.
Yeah, this is a very different game than we saw last time. You know, you have a lot more autonomy in these lanes to make plays. And, you know, I respect IU for going right back to the exact same comp pretty much. But Purdue Northwest was ready, and this draft adaptation is really showing, and they are playing much better.
Yeah, Purdue Northwest just really coming out with showing just how ready they are to fight for this battle for Indiana Bell. We are going to be seeing some engagements going off over here, and the Everfrost barely missing as High Prince is going to be fighting with Pranked here. Klexo is going to be zoning Amended off. High Prince in a bit of trouble. The gangplank all comes down, and there's just so much damage. High Prince is trying to live with that sustain. That's an amazing ult by Hiccup. Is going to keep High Prince alive just a bit longer, enough to let them get that reset off. That was incredibly close.
Yeah, but cost him his flash, and it cost Seraphine her ult, but there's a good thing there's nothing on the map. But it's kind of a little bit of a win for Purdue Northwest. You're going to deny a lot of the wave, and like I said, you get the flash, and you're probably going to get this top tower, but man, that was super close.
They're also clearing out most of the top side of Indiana's jungle. They're really just taking everything from Indiana, although I believe Renekton just...
Nope, Jarvan got it.
Jarvan got it.
No, he didn't smite, he just got it. Lucky guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes just a well-placed auto attack is all it takes. We have this Rift Herald up, and I really don't see reasons to why Purdue Northwest does not go for it. And to go for it, they shall. Not a lot that Indiana can do in response. They're just going to have to give this.
Now, Amended is opting to go more of a tanky, supportive build on the Vi this game. Previously, we were seeing, I believe she went Black Cleaver first item in our other games. Am I wrong on that?
I think she did in the IU Ball State game. She did go Black Cleaver first.
This game, going for the more supportive Mythic, making sure to heal up the team whenever she ults. And yeah, the Vi's doesn't quite have her foot on the pedal like she wants to and has in the previous games. Just gonna have to support the team as Combo King fights Pranked here. They're both dealing lots of damage. Combo King's just burning for half of his health bar. Gets TP'd on by the Silas. They're fighting Silas, lands the E, and is probably gonna finish off the Collier, who's hiding in her shroud. Ults away and just gets destroyed by the Collector from the game. Oh, not Collector, yeah, just by the Gangplank Q.
Yeah, the Ash Arrow not quite landing either, so Indiana's just going to have to take the L here, but they might not even be allowed to peacefully disengage, as Purdue Northwest is going to be running at this tower looking to get something happening here. That dragon is coming up in about 20 seconds, and Purdue Northwest would love to keep this snowballing going. In the meantime, that Rift Herald is going to be dropped in the bot lane by Doubtful, and all of a sudden Indiana is in a bit of a pickle here. They're about to be tower dived. Leona stun does come up, and that engage is just nasty. That is such a wombo combo. The Seraphine Charm is going to keep the Dream alive a little longer, but the damage is simply too much. The Cataclysm will finish off the remainder of Indiana here, as this Renekton is getting taken lower and lower. The sustain is high, but the damage is higher, and Combo King is going to be comboed into oblivion if they do not disengage right now. And honestly, Purdue Northwest might be looking to end here, but are just going to disengage, go back for that dragon.
Yeah, and that was a long sequence that kind of starts with Combo King taking that play in the bot lane. I think what he's thinking is, hey, I'm going to try and make a play, try and kill this GP. But he went Oblivion Orb first, so he delayed his Mythic for a really long time, and he's pretty far behind. So I don't think he ever had the damage to do it. And then they Purdue Northwest just chased down Indiana while getting mid tier 2. They got bot tier 2, and then they killed them all, got tier 3 turret, smartly left up the inhib because you don't want to take an inhib this early into the game. Just Purdue Northwest is looking like an entirely different team than we saw the last time these two teams met.
And Purdue Northwest backing and getting their gold on the map and now preparing to set up for this dragon. It looks like it is going to go uncontested. IU knows they cannot do anything to stop this. So they're just going to go rotate over to the mid, top side of the map, try to gather what resources that PNW has left for them.
We are approaching a 10K gold lead here for PNW. There's playing from behind, and then there's just a doom scenario, and it feels like Indiana is rapidly approaching the doom scenario part of this equation, as PNW just are kind of walking around Summoner's Rift without a care in the world. They're going to walk into this jungle. I don't know if Prince can get this Gromp safely. They might not let him to Poner. Going to spot out High Prince here. Just kind of... Oh, man. That's got to feel bad.
Little banter, a little BM, call it what you want. I'm all for it, you know. Have a little bit of fun with the game. You got beat earlier today, and you're coming back and playing a great game. Have a little bit of fun with the dance. I respect it. You know, show a little bit of confidence with it. And this gold lead, it's probably 2K for each one of these laners for the side of Purdue Northwest. Silas is at 2 items. Ash is at 2 items. GP's at 2 items. There's so much gold on these carries. It is going to be so much damage coming out from the side of Purdue Northwest. And they get another tier 2 tower. And this map is wide open. And while we have a quick breather, I just want to remind everyone that PNW does have to win 2 games against IU right now. 2 best of 3s. 2 best of 3s. They have to win 2 best of 3s. There is a bracket reset for the lower bracket team. So at the end of the day, this is a best of 3 right here. And Purdue Northwest has to win this one and then win another one to win the whole grand finals.
It is a tall order, so Indiana does have some light at the end of the tunnel, especially given how disastrously wrong this initial game is going. This Baron will be set up by Purdue Northwest, and there's just not a lot you can do here.
It's going down so quick.
Ash is just putting in so much damage right now. It is kind of unheard of for an ADC to be this ahead right now with this competitive game. And they take that Baron, and they are going to send it top and mid, try to push out these waves and try to end it while they still can.
You have 3 items at just over 20 minutes as Ash. That's just so much damage that Indiana has to deal with. And they just quite simply aren't tanky enough for it. This Ash is just going to shred absolutely everybody. And Indiana is just fighting a losing war is what it feels like. This Baron wave is streaming down into the top lane. Indiana can't even bother to defend it. They're just going to get immediately taken down. There's just so much damage on the side of Purdue Northwest. And this feels like the beginning of the end for game 1 so far.
Yeah, and they're going to try and kill this GP. He is surviving for a very long time. The charm hits 2 of them. Shut down over to the Akali. Do they have the damage? Huge stolen Seraphino, but sorry, Renekton kills the bot lane for Purdue Northwest, but there's so many carries still alive in Plexo and Doubtful. They are going to get this in here, but that's definitely a win for IU. You got a lot of shutdowns.
That is some shutdowns there. But this inhib is getting cracked wide open. The map is open. Your base is becoming even more exposed. Oh!
The re-engage by Combo King over here. Can they finish off Doubtful over here? Get some down
It's had no damage, and Klexo's healing so much.
The damage just is not there as Klexo finishes off Combo King. That is not what Indiana was looking for there.
That abscond abduct right there at the end to kill Akali. Man, that feels really bad for IU. And we're so excited we could barely talk watching these games. These fights are really close, and everybody's playing them actually incredibly well. We saw Seraphine hit a 2-man charm. We saw Silas steal Seraphine arm and hit a 2-man charm. We saw Renekton get onto the Ashe and kill Winking, which is a huge factor in this game. And it was a 3 for 3, or 2 for 2, which if you're Indiana and you're down 11,000 gold, 2 for 2 is incredible.
It really is just a testament to the skill of both of these teams here. Definitely earning their place in the grand finals, but still the game state is a disaster for Indiana. They are just down so much. They have so much to try and make up, and the damage is just going to keep scaling, and that is a really solid engage here. The charm coming through, and that Doubtful is going to be in a bit of trouble here, is going to pop the stopwatch. That we do have some of Indiana's trapped in Cataclysm, and the shutdown going on to your Kaisa. That's who you want to get your gold on here if you're Indiana. The Gangplank ult is coming out as Purdue Northwest looking for the re-engage Unstoppable Divide ult is just going to go straight into the stopwatch, not even bothering trying to make anything happen. Klexo is unstoppable, going to take down Amended. Combo King goes down, and I think that is it for Indiana.
Game 1 to Purdue Northwest.
Ooh, this is a grand finals match.
I think they should be able to end here. Maybe not, though. We're going to see. Renekton goes in to try and clear the way, but GP has done so much damage, and their minions are never going to be able to survive. Klexo is tanking the tower. Winking's doing so much damage here. The tower is going to fall. Vi is up in 7 seconds. Winking is doing so much damage. They're hitting the Nexus. Abscond Duck on the Loki Doki. Flash onto the Renekton. Going to kill him. Kill for Klexo. And they get the Nexus. Dominating win there for the side of Purdue Northwest.
Purdue Northwest is going to take that game 1 decisively, and this just feels like a completely different Purdue Northwest from when they last faced IU. It's night and day, honestly.
It's partially, it's definitely the draft. That Gangplank was monster, but the Ashe in the bot lane, that massive early lead, I don't know what you're supposed to do about that when that much gold gets on an ADC that early.
Yeah, it was also, what really was different was the mid lane matchup. Last time these two teams played, Combo King had the better of Klexo. Like, the LeBlanc didn't look too great. It didn't seem like a good counter. This time you picked the Sylas, and while you had a little bit less pressure in the early game, you were much better at skirmishing, much better at fighting her and trading her. And then when you were able to pair up with your team, it looked much more clean, much more practice, and I expect him to go back and look for that in the future.
Yeah, they needed the AP damage in the last game that we saw them play. The last game they played against, was it IU?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The last game they played against IU, they picked the LeBlanc, and we thought she'd go AP, but she went in Static Shiv first item when they really needed the AP, and they fixed their mistake this game, and clearly it paid off.
Yeah, and they also won the coin toss, or maybe it was because they were grand finals, like the upper bracket, that they got to pick sides, and they picked blue. But if you're a team that can play all these different flex picks and you're willing to, I think you go red side, especially in this game now that, you're gonna, even if you lose it, you have a whole nother best of 3, you can go back to blue. I would love to see them go to red side and try and adapt to this draft right here.
Yeah, we've seen so much of this versatility that Indiana here is willing to express. Like we said, they keep picking a lot of flex picks here. I agree, actually. I really would like to see them just go for red side because, in theory, in red side, you can just counterpick everybody. Yep. Why not? You have so many flexible picks available to you. You're clearly adept at using them, and we've seen IU function as a team before. We know what they're capable of. So in this, I do that. I really do. I like that idea quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, that's what a wonderful game. I cannot wait for the next game. Do you think that the Gangplank's going to go through this game?
I think the Gangplank only came out as a counter pick, and we are seeing that it looks like IU is going to stay on blue side. I don't love that. So maybe in the second phase, you're going to ban Gangplank, but I think in all reality, you're just not going to pick Renekton.
It's probably the best.
I have not seen this champion do anything today that has warranted the priority teams are putting on it.
No, the Renekton curse has definitely been real all day. Yeah. Stop picking it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why teams continue to pick it. I understand the idea of it. You're a strong laner. You have a lot of self-reliant tools. You don't need much help. But it has not transitioned into any wins.
And I think the fear of knowing that they could pull out the Gangplank now will probably keep them off the Renekton. They don't want to waste a ban on Gangplank. They don't have to. Just don't go to Renekton.
Yeah, I agree here. Yeah, I think dedicating a ban to that Gangplank seems excessive, especially when you've only played one game against this Gangplank. It's generally you're going to think of that as a counter pick. You're not going to be able to do. It's just a silly waste of a ban, generally speaking. Unless they pull out the Gangplank again, and all of a sudden it turns out that oh no, it turns out that Purdue Northwest actually has a really scary gangplank in all scenarios, then sure, go for that. But
the worry is if Purdue Northwest is willing to blind pick that gangplank. That's when it's a problem.
that would be kind of
That's
hype
when it becomes
to
a problem.
watch, not gonna lie.
Because if you're saying, hey, we think this champ's really strong, which it absolutely is really strong, we are very comfortable on this gangplank, we're going to blind it on 3 or 4, because they are red side, so R3 or R4. What are you going to pick into us?
That's what I was going to ask you. I'm not sure what the gangplank counters are here.
Oh, there's the classic gangplank counter of Lucian, where you would play Lucian into it, and he never gets a barrel ever. There's Akshan, which is like the more modern version of Lucian. I've seen Gnar picked into it. Irelia is a classic one, and we've seen Kalexo play it, but I'm not sure if Pranked plays it. So it's kind of just interesting to see what they're comfortable on, but there are some counters into it. I've heard about Rise being a counter into it, but I'm not too sure about that one.
Out of those picks, I feel like the most likely would probably be Gnar.
Yeah,
I
probably.
I don't know if they want to put an ADC in the top lane.
Yeah, that's always risky. Even with Akshan, who can flex to the top lane pretty easily, you're just, comp-wise, you just sacrifice a lot just to kind of answer one gangplank. I would put Gnar, maybe Rise if you are feeling adventurous, although Rise top has... That feels like ancient history.
We saw KT play it yesterday.
I mean, there we go.
Actually, it was this morning, but... I think also like Fiora and Camille are skill matchups into Gangplank. I'm not 100% confident on that one, but those are common champions that we could see as well. I just don't want to see Renekton. I don't think it's been good. Like, I don't understand it. But also, on the other side, for Purdue Northwest, keep picking this Ashe. This Ashe has been very, very good for you, especially when Ziggs is banned.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see a very similar ban phase, actually. I'm expecting to see the Ziggs and Cassante just immediately being thrown out of the pool, because the Ziggs ban for that Ashe has been very, very good, and then Cassante, who after this afternoon has just kind of not been allowed anywhere near a computer here at Battle for Indiana.
And do you think after how mid lane went there, are they going to pick Akali a third game?
I don't think so, but it's been what Combo King has looked best on, other than that Orianna, which he had for one game, but I think they're going to continue to ban it on red side. If I am IU, I am keeping the Seraphine pick, and I'm going Seraphine, jungle, AD carry, and saving mid and top for the second phase so that you could try and get your mid lane a counter pick or your top lane a counter pick, because you're going to have to see one of them from red side, unless obviously, Purdue Northwest picks some flex pick or whatever. But I want to see Combo King take his pick to like 4 or 5 on this blue side, because I know he could play a good Zoe, and if you get a good Zoe game, like that last game was a very good Zoe game, it could be very strong.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Zoe. If not, I feel like he's probably going to go back to the Syndra or the Orianna.
Assuming it's left open.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we are going to be getting into draft here. We are already seeing, so we talked about, we're probably going to see the Cassante and Ziggs immediately knocked out here. We are going to see that Cassante, but that Ziggs is still open. Oh, well, I spoke too soon. So Poppy, Cassante, Senna, Orianna, Ziggs, and Rumble. I am not overly surprised.
Except for the first pick, Jarvan.
First pick, Jarvan.
All right, so you said you want to see these jungle AD carries getting picked early. I like this so far, Jarvan. Just a solid pick all around. Who are you thinking? Who do we want to see coming out from Purdue Northwest here?
Oh man, you have so many options. I think the Vi has been really strong. I think it's a good champion, but they also could just go back to the Ashe.
I think
also,
they secure the Ashe.
Zaya's up. They could go Zaya, especially into Jarvan. It's really good. The Zinzao.
Okay.
I'm not loving that pick.
I have yet to see this Zinzao at all during this tournament do anything. Oh, they are taking that Seraphine away.
And are we gonna flex it to another lane, or is it gonna go back into support? This is the value of it for sure. As you said, we haven't seen much success of the Zinzao. It's been valuable in the early game, but kind of like Renekton, it hasn't transitioned into further wins. But I'm really interested to hear what the answer is for IU. The Jinx is very strong.
And
it's pretty good Desire.
I cannot remember which one of these teams it was, but one of these teams, one of their players likes to play Seraphine ADC, and I would be very hyped to see some Seraphine ADC this game.
I don't remember which team it was either, actually.
I actually think it's the support for Purdue Northwest, the Poner, but he plays AD carry in solo queue.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it is.
Honestly, I think he's the one who played a lot of Misfortune. I do like this Azir hover. I also am fine with the Syndra hover. You know, I can be fine without seeing Azir. Oh, that is an insta-lock Irelia. Okay.
And that's exactly why I think you don't want to pick mid there, because if you're picking Syndra, and he showed that he's very good on Irelia, and they already do have a champ that can play that AD carries or APC role. I don't like picking Syndra there because you're just going to get countered, just like Purdue Northwest did.
And the Lulu ban will be coming out, so they're trying to restrict the Enchanter pool here. I do know that the support here for Indiana, she is kind of known for her Enchanter gameplay. Seraphine certainly, but Lulu's not a bad ban either, especially with that Jinx just kind of denying that. So you've got a couple different ban options available here as for the Northwest, and you will be choosing Alistar, which...
He was very proficient on All-Star in the ball.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I'm not sure what to expect here.
I wonder if we see a GP ban.
That would be interesting. I would be shocked if that GP is going to be removed. Milio!
I think it's a good ban. I think it's a good ban.
I believe that is actually also a significant part, or like a champion that the support is known for. So again, just kind of targeting that support. I just have yet to see Milio played at all Battle for Indiana. And once again, Kennen, I believe that is just going to be another comfort pick ban there as well.
And in our interview with Hiccup, she said she is just a W bot, and they are making sure this W bot is not allowed to do that, taking away all of her picks. What does she have left?
I mean, Soraka could be a good pick here, or like Morgana into the Nautilus, something along those lines. Or you match it with like a Rel, something along those lines. I'm very surprised that the Xayah completely went through ban and pick phase as well. The Gragas is a little interesting. Maybe they think it's Irelia top. I'm not sure.
I dislike this Gragas at first blush here. It is a flex pick. I guess, so you can, put it into different lanes. If that's an Irelia top, you put that Gragas top. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it personally.
Now we find out, is it the Seraphine top or ADC?
Could still be mid. This also could be Gragas support, but I highly doubt it.
I don't think Gragas support's a good pick at all. So I do like Soraka here. I think this does. I think Soraka's just good into Jinx. I think Soraka is just good, kind of period. She does have that lame bullying presence that we all like, and I mean, you're bullying, you're kind of already banning out this Milio, this Lulu. So clearly, you're trying to not want an Enchanter in this game. So that's kind of the angle I'm going for. I like this Gwen hover. I think it's interesting.
So we are looking at the Seraphine ADC, Irelia mid, and Gwen top as we head into, as we wait to head into this game.
We see a lot of adaptations coming out here, and I like the change in draft from both of these teams. Purdue Northwest a little bit more than IU. I just don't understand why you're putting so much value on support counter pick as IU when you know you're playing an Enchanter anyways. Just pick your favorite one and let your mid laner get counter or your top laner get counter, because now you just kind of have two bad solo lanes again, and as we saw last game, if you have solo lanes that are tough to play, it can go very bad.
Especially because, I mean, it is an Enchanter support, and it is kind of sometimes a meme, just sit behind your ADC and scale. But worst comes to worst, most Enchanters can just do that.
Yeah.
I think leaving this Enchanter pick for just so late, just does not do much for your solo lanes here, because now you have this Gwen to contend with, you have this Irelia to contend with. It's just going to be a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm kind of worried on IU's. I feel like IU's not tanky enough here. I think maybe the Gragas is going to get a lot of health up there, but the damage is going to be coming in from this Gwen and this Irelia and this Seraphine. We've seen how much damage Seraphine does. I feel like they've got a lot of damage to just melt through this team comp.
I will say Soraka is incredibly broken.
That is true. I may be discounting the Soraka
If
heals.
you are she's one of my favorite champs in the game to play with and have on my team or to play. even if you are just like slightly not very tanky, Soraka's going to give you 40,000 bonus health this game because she's going to heal like that much. So it makes sense. I just don't like it personally coming so late in the draft because how different is Soraka on 3 and then, you know, getting Leona, Nautilus, whatever they pick. I mean, you're already picking into Nautilus. Might as well just blind it, you know? And then imagine is Irelia versus Talia again, and we see that counter, or Vex, or something like that come in. But at the end of the day, I think both teams have really strong drafts and very clear win cons with a lot of comfort.
Yeah, it's just so interesting to me to sort of see this targeted Enchanter ban. Like, I don't normally, I do like the Milio ban quite a bit, I guess, and I do think the Lulu ban is nice. It's just so odd to see so much emphasis kind of placed on getting this Enchanter class out of the game because, I mean, I play a lot of Enchanters, so I guess I'm kind of allowed to dog on it a bit, but if you can play one Enchanter, you have a pretty solid foundation for picking up most of them to a fairly serviceable level.
Yeah.
It just seems odd to me, but then again, I agree, it just seems odd to pick it last anyway. There's some weird choices overall, but I do agree, even if I dislike a lot of aspects of these drafts, they do have clear plans in mind, they have clear win cons, so at the very least there is that.
And I want to make clear, just so everyone's aware, we're not trying to make fun or poke fun at any of these teams or coaches or anything like that. We're just giving our opinions up here and maybe giving a little insight into how we think about the game. And obviously it's different than how they think. So obviously no hard feelings to anybody involved. This is all collegiate stuff, and we're not rooting for either one of these teams. We're not affiliated with any of them, so we're just up here giving our opinions. So just wanted to clear that up for anyone who might be watching this out there.
Yeah, these are two phenomenal teams that have fought their way to these finals. We respect them fully. They are great players.
This is us kind of like pushing up the nerd glasses and going, well, actually, if you think about it like this, you know, maybe X, Y, and it is of course. These are phenomenal teams. They're certainly a lot better than I am at this game. It is mostly just us trying to min-max these drafts because they do have clear plans in mind, and it's kind of sometimes it conflicts with how maybe we would run this draft.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's a little bit easier to give our opinions when they disagree than just saying, oh yeah, you guys are great. Let's wait for 3 minutes for this game to start. You know what I mean? So, but like we've said, both these teams deserve to be there, and we will be jumping into game here soon. And I'm not going to ask anyone to make a prediction because both these comps are very, very good.
It's going to be close.
I couldn't make a prediction if you actually did ask me to.
And you know what we didn't get? We didn't get the Croc. So
we didn't get the Croc. There's no Croc curse now. It is anybody's game.
No one's cursed. They're not throwing in Champ Select.
I think we're happy about that. But is the Xin Zhao curse gonna come out next?
The Xin Zhao has, like you said, it does seem to have this strong early game, but really consistently just seems to struggle into the mid game. Definitely struggle a lot in the late game. Xin Zhao's never been known for being an amazing scaler. I'm curious to see how it'll play out. I do think it does have a bit of potential here into this Gragas, into this Jarvan, into this Syndra here. Xin Zhao can displace these people quite easily, but I've said that I feel like a lot about Xin Zhao into different comps, and the Xin Zhao's always just struggled. So I'm curious to see how it plays out. I'm curious to see how both these drafts play out. And these teams, once again, just gonna be playing safe, just guard that jungle. No need to throw a lead away so early into the game already.
And I'm excited to see such high-level gameplay from a Gragas. I don't know about you guys, in my personal experience, Gragas is the scariest champion to play against because the players are crazy at him. They do some wacky things that I would never think of, and I just don't expect it. And I want to see if High Prince can do that here tonight.
There are definitely some very good Gragas gameplay players out there with some incredible gameplay. You know, you throw the Q down, you hit the Bomba combo. You know, you throw them back and do an E. And we've seen this champ played at pro level a lot too. So if High Prince can play it at a pretty high level, it's going to be very, very good here, especially as a way to disrupt this Irelia and the Gwen and the Xin Zhao from being able to really damage this Jinx and Syndra.
So once again, going to see a tale kind of as old as time here. Both these teams just looking to grab that level 2, trade back and forth, try and get a small XP or CS advantage. Plexo on this Irelia is definitely going to be the pick to watch for. Last time they got access to it, it was not a fun time for the enemy team. So I am curious to see it in action once again.
Combo King hitting some great trades onto the Aurelia in the mid lane, really poking her down, going to have to force her to back up or she's going to be afraid of a gank. And right off the bat, Combo King has a bit of a pressure lead on them in the mid lane.
But they do have vision on where this Jarvan's at, so they do know which way he's pathed. They have full understanding on where he's at right now. So it gives some freedom to this Gwen and Irelia to play their lanes a little bit more aggressive if they choose to do so.
And Frank has been taking that to really their full advantage. That is a very chunked out Gragas. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, going to be pushing up a bit more slowly here, getting some vision in that Tri-Bush. Oh, wow.
So that sucks right there a little bit, though, because Combo King didn't get a Splinter, which would have been really nice here to get one this early. And we are seeing a little bit of invade here from the Xin Zhao. Skipped his blue buff to do this, and he's not really getting anything for it.
Yeah, once again, one of those small things. If you manage to find something, that's great. If you don't, you are going to be put a bit further behind here. I feel like every time we've gone on Cluxo, it just feels like Combo King's landing something, then Cluxo is just running out of there, trying to regenerate that HP. It's just so back and forth. That is a very volatile mid lane, although Cluxo will be resetting. Meanwhile, up here, Pranked has just been pushed up to tower, just been using that aggression beautifully, chunking down High Prince whenever they are able.
Yeah, it's pretty bold of Cluxo to not go. We are seeing a hook here from the opponent on the Loki Dosi. Soraka does have a ton of healing down, though. There is not very much damage from the side of Purdue Northwest. Are they going to chase any further? No, they're just going to walk away. More heavy trading in this top lane. But what I was saying, very bold of Cluxo to not go Doran Shield. I don't know if he has second wind either, but a lot of the time they'll go Doran Shield, second wind to make sure they can stay really healthy. But he's trying to kill. The hook comes down from Deponer. Flash out from Hiccup was very, very nice. Otherwise, she was most likely dead.
I believe Deponer used a minion dematerializer to. Wait, is that what happened there? I think he.
Maybe. We are seeing a play maybe happen here in the top lane. No, I think Gragas is just too low. They're going to call that off. That lane's a little too big. But yeah, I do think he used a minion dematerializer to make room for that hook.
That was a great hook. I didn't think it was going to hit, but it did. Sadly, nothing they can really do after hitting it.
You do get the flash off that Soraka, though. A very immobile pick. Now Hiccup is going to have to play quite carefully. Jungle tracking will become paramount here. Combo King and Cluxo once again, just back and forth. We do see that Jarvan rotating, maybe going to make a play happen.
He just wants to make sure that Syndra can get the shove off without diving, because Cluxo got the wave to a perfect spot for it. He just hold it there and have a ton of pressure. Going a little deep, maybe? No.
There's some volatile actions happening in this mid and top lane. I am just waiting for a last second jump and a quick kill to come out of really nowhere. Frank, in the meantime, is enjoying a really nice CS lead over Prince here. Just really chunking out this Gragas. Prince is struggling to really make a lot happen in this particular matchup. Prank is going to once again keep running. Does have that ultimate available. That is some significant damage coming out of Prince there. Ooh!
He doesn't have flash to do a Q flash either. Oh, that was very close.
Just barely missing out on the kill on Gragas in top lane. Gragas is backing right on her, but he's probably... She tries to go in on that. Okay, no. The wave's in a bad spot. Cannot go in.
And without flash, you're guaranteed going at least 1-for-1. But with High Prince having flash and no ult on Gwen, it's very likely you can mess up that dive.
Now, there might be a play coming down here in the bot lane. If not, they're probably going to look to take drag.
Oh, but this could be bad because Jarvan's here too, bad for Purdue Northwest. Because Jarvan is here as well. Winky does not have very much damage right now, especially after the changes.
Now, Doubtful has started the dragon. Let's see if Indiana is ready to respond to this.
Oh, this could actually be really big for Purdue Northwest. I don't know if Indiana knows that Doubtful is already on that dragon.
Well, now they do.
Well, now they do. All right, here we could be looking.
Syndra's TP in the bot lane. They are wanting to contest this. We are going to see a little bit of posture. Dragon's really low. The hook does land onto Amended. The jungle does have an advantage, though. Doubtful is level 5. Stun lands as well. The Soraka healing is coming in. The Combo King gets there just in time. Huge flash there from Nautilus. And the Vanguard edge lands on everybody. The stun lands on the two. Loki Doki and Combo King are going to fall. Do they have enough damage? No healing from Soraka. Double kill for the mid laner from Purdue Northwest.
And Doubtful was hesitant to finish off that dragon. His smite was on cooldown. He was worried about a steal, so instead they opted to turn around and fight, and it worked out, and they will get drag anyway.
The old Cluxo special, just kind of biding your time until suddenly you get 2 kills and are now a massive threat. That is Dragon going to Purdue Northwest here. Very well played. It was very, very close, but Purdue Northwest ultimately managing to get the edge up here as that Dragon will go down.
Yeah, that's just kind of the level advantages that Purdue Northwest had that kind of carried that fight, and obviously very good play. But when Combo King and Loki Dosi got separated from that fight, Kalexo took full advantage of that. Hit a beautiful stun after his flash Vanguard's edge and just did so much damage in that fight. But I have to think if Combo King and Loki Dosi played a little bit closer to Jargon and Soraka, it would have gone a lot different if Soraka could hit that W on them.
It was a very close fight indeed. Hiccup maybe not wanting to walk too far forward when that flash is down. After all, you can do no healing if you are dead. You're just going to be maybe seeing both these teams path towards that Rift Herald. It is up, and in the meantime, we'll be looking at this bot lane. Loki Dosi and Hiccup just can't really do much. That's a Nautilus with a big old hook, and walking up there is just bad news. Meanwhile, Klexo going to be jumping on the Combo King here, going to get some nice damage out. But Combo King going to trade back in return, and Klexo, oh, I thought that was just going to go for the all-in there. Just going to get some damage down, get that wave crashed, and reset.
Yeah, when Vanguard Edge comes back up, Combo King having no flash, he could be in danger on this wave being pushed out. He probably needs to call Jargon to make sure he can get this push out.
And overall, it's just a bit of a stalemate right now. PNW is in the lead with a little over 1,000 gold lead, kind of close to 2,000. There's a fight breaking out in the bot lane. Nothing really happens. They're going to back off. Maybe look to go back in and pressure them.
This is everybody. Silence comes down and the chomper, but no root or stun lands, and is just going to be the flash from Seraphine. Winking trying to make a play, and maybe he's down here. Winking doesn't have flash now. If he gets a little bit too far, the hook does land. Neither one of them have flash. Can the Cataclysm get raised? Nice root there from Winking.
Great disengaged stun from the Seraphine right there. Amended was looking to ult onto someone and was completely stopped. Now we are back to the game of farming minions.
Yeah, there was a really nice attempt there, but unfortunately none of those spells quite landed the way that Purdue Northwest wanted, and the disengage from Indiana was simply too on point. Oh, and the flash is going to be dropped once again by Hiccup. This Nautilus just pressuring that Soraka so hard. Enchanters just do not like hook supports, and Loki Dosi taking quite low is going to be chunked out of lane here. In the meantime, I feel like every time we looked up top, Frank has just been beating down on high Prince and shoving in that minion wave. This does not look fun for Gragas.
That's the power of the counter pick. IU went back to blue side and they let their top laner get counter picked, and this is what happens. But I will say High Prince has done a very good job of kind of neutralizing. You know, he hasn't given up too much, he hasn't died. He is down a lot of CS, but he hasn't given up plates. He is doing just fine. Kind of like as his namesake, JDG's top laner, 369 would have done.
Yep, just trying to scale, play safe, just not trying to create a problem for your team. Although your team still does have a few problems going on here, that gold lead is only growing, and as these objective timers are ticking down, it looks like Purdue Northwest is just in a really good spot to rotate to whichever one they feel like taking whenever it comes up here. Purdue Northwest are slowly but surely just scaling into monsters as the mid-game approaches, and I really feel like Indiana needs to make some kind of response happen, otherwise they're just going to be left behind.
And we've got Doubtful taking his lunch break in this bush down in the enemy bot jungle. He's been there for about 25 minutes. Finally, it might work out. No, Kill gets away. He might decide to drop Herald here just for those tower plates, but don't think so. He's going to take the Raptors camp and settle for that.
Really good flash there from Combo King, but that's one of those play safe mid moments. Support jungle in my lane, trying to dive me. Really good setup there from Purdue Northwest, but after they got the flash, they decided not to commit too much more because I don't think they exactly knew where Amended was, and they didn't want to risk counter dive there.
TP coming out from Klexo here, just going to get back into that lane, only to walk straight into Combo King's nasty center combo. That jungler is pretty close, but Klexo is just going to go for the all-O, and the Combo King's just dead.
And the dive bot lane with the TP coming in. Loki Dosi, very weak, but it's just going to be a 1-for-0. And the TP committed from Gragas is... Oh, okay, he missed. But the TP from Gragas is going to mean that Gwen is going to get a lot of plating.
And now that TP has come through, here comes the rest of the engage into the bot lane. The Rift Herald has been summoned. Doubtful goes down. Nice kill by Loki Dotsy, but Winking will trade back. And Toponer looking quite low. High Prince, that TP was rewarded at least somewhat. That Nautilus will go down. The Rift Herald will be killed as well.
Looks like PNW is looking to run away with this game right now. They did drop 1 kill there, but Indiana did not gain much off of it.
Unable to really get a conversion off. We do have this Drake that is up, and there is just a lot of prio in this mid and bot lanes. I think Purdue Northwest is in a fantastic position to go for this dragon if they want to take it, and it looks like they are doing that. Toponer walking towards River right now, going to the enemy jungle, trying to get some vision control down, and there's just not a lot that Indiana can do in response here at the moment. We see that Jarvan hovering in the jungle, but I mean, there's just no way to enter the river without taking a lot of punishment if you're Indiana.
Yeah, we see a 1.6, almost 1.7k gold lead there for Klexo in the mid lane. Gold lead in the jungle is about 600, and another 500 in the top lane is where this 2k gold deficit is coming from. Well, 3k gold deficit is coming from. And it's going to be very hard for Indiana to really shut these players down if they allow them to keep scaling and allow them to keep making the plays on them. They need to start playing proactive. And here might be the chance. Klexo a little cut out, but Doubtful is right in the area, and so is Toponer, but Hiccup is here as well. The depth charge goes down on the Cinder. It's going to keep her out of the fight. Klexo is dashing everywhere. Mended is going to be the first to fall. High Prince is going to follow. No, he's not. The Soraka healing is going to be enough.
And I was sure that High Prince had won them that fight. He hit the double Everfrost on them, but sadly the Soraka heals were just too much. They could not burn through those health bars, and that is another W for PNW.
Yeah, Toponer kept out the Syndra from that fight, and Gragas didn't get the ult down, so there was 2 ults that were not committed down onto Klexo. Combo King almost has the damage. The Soraka healing is so much, but he doesn't have the damage. It's single-digit health, and that's 2 down for the side of Indiana. Are they going to be able to trade back at least this Nautilus? No, they are not.
And I think the Xin Chao is showing that there is not a Xin Chao curse right now.
No, this has been some great jungling from Doubtful, sitting on a nice bounty there. And while that Soraka healing is making these fights prolonged and perhaps a bit difficult, Purdue Northwest is simply so far ahead that they have the damage to fight on through it. We have this Rift Herald coming up in about 10 seconds, and once again, Purdue Northwest is just almost perfectly positioned to go and fight for it here. Get that vision control, get that objective, and keep this lead going.
Follow with me here. You said that the Xin Zhao curse is not enough. I think it's the Irelia blessing is stronger than the curse. That is what I'm saying. And I think there's a little bit of Syndra curse today. I don't think Syndra's won a game today either. So there might be that, but like I said, these people are playing super well, and that Irelia from Klexo is definitely a blessing to have on your team.
I think a mistake that IU made, actually a fight's breaking out as Praint invades the enemy jungle. Is he going to steal his drop away? No, and Mended secures it with a smite as PNW looks to take Rift Herald here. I do not believe IU can contest. They're not close enough. This Rift Herald is going down quick.
Yeah, that's just going to be a really easy IU coming out from PNW. Goodness, you can tell I've been casting for all day. A really easy Rift Herald coming out from PNW here as they're looking to just keep this lead snowballing. Oh, a great Seraphine ult, but an even better flash there to disengage. As once again, PNW just going to be pressuring this lane and going to be looking to take this mid tower with the Rift Herald perhaps, or at the very least just get some more pressure down on it. Indiana has had their backs to the wall for what feels like all game, and PNW is just not letting up.
Yeah, 6k gold lead 2 at 16 minutes is very hard to come back from.
And going back to quite a while ago when that last team fight broke out, I think a large mistake that IU made was they hard focused that Xin Chao. He is just so hard to take down when it comes to his ultimate, the Gore Drinker, the Soraka heals. He is one tanky boy, and they really need to try to get the kills onto more easier targets, honestly.
Yeah, and it's going to be kind of hard, though. That Seraphine, those shields are going to be very, very big, and everybody on the side of Purdue Northwest has their summoners available, besides the Gwen Ghost, but it will be up soon. But it doesn't really matter because Gwen is immune with her W anyways.
Exactly. There's just so much team fight potential here from Purdue Northwest, and Purdue Northwest is just so far ahead. They've really just done a great job of adapting to the things that IU has thrown from them. They've really learned from their past experiences, and it is paying for itself in dividends. We do have this Dragon is coming up in about a minute, so now's a good time to reset, get that vision control down, start playing for that objective as the timer ticks down for Purdue Northwest here.
Guys, we have to take a moment. We got the rallies on Seraphine. Let's go.
We did!
Huge.
At
That's
last.
what we needed to see.
PNW is listening to us. The rallies is going. I mean, that might just be the win.
It's there. I don't think they can lose. The rallies blessing is too much.
It is, in all actuality, memes aside, it is just such a strong item on Seraphine, and coupled with that Leandri's damage, it's just painful to walk into really any Seraphine ability. You're slowed, you're burning, then you're getting hit again, you're slowed, you're burning. It just does not feel good. It is really nice on Seraphine in that carry position, especially. And I mean, that's just the Seraphine. Already, everybody has so many items. They're building into their second and third even items here. Actually, yeah, into their third items here as well, if you count the Seraphine. It's just rough for Indiana. It really feels like there's just not a lot they can do in this scenario.
They are trying to make a play here on Klexo. That is his flash down. TP coming in from Frank. Do they have enough damage? He does get rooted. He's on top of the Soraka. He's dashing everywhere. He's going to get shut down by the Jinx. But Prank is going to stop them from doing much more than that. And we are seeing a play in the bot lane too. Now splash hooks on to the Syndra, and she's gonna fall.
Wow, that was... I really just kind of jinxed everything here. Indiana pulling out a really nice play considering how far behind they are, but PNW is just able to make so much more happen. Yes, you get that shutdown on your Jinx, and that's definitely the person you want to have that shutdown. That is really your way back into this game, but you just lose so much for it. PNW gets a kill, they get more pressure down on the bot side of this map. This Dragon is up, and PNW can just waltz right in and take it.
They're going to get drag, they're going to get tower. They're just taking everything right now, and IU has no answer for it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this does kind of go back to the draft. You give yourself 2 losing solo lanes. It just means that you are going to have so much pressure from the enemy team, and it's going to be very hard for your jungle to impact the game when you have such a strong gravity in mid lane from Klexo, and then top lane's completely winning in isolation. It makes it very hard for Mended to get involved with this game, and I think that's what we felt in this game and last game, where he's kind of been invisible in the last 2 games.
Amended is such a good jungler and has really just had to pick up so much slack as these lanes start falling apart. And sometimes it's due to matchup, sometimes it's just due to a bad fight. But Amended just, like you said, just there's not a lot of impact that Amended can have on the map. Meanwhile, Doubtful is able to run wild here. There's just so much resources that are in favor here. And as the engage is going to be coming onto Amended, speak of the devil, the rest of Purdue Northwest is going to be rotating, and Amended is going to barely get out with their life, going to commit the flash. The heals and shields are going to come out in abundance. The re-engage is going to be coming perhaps from the side of Indiana here. Purdue Northwest is going to disengage, and Indiana just can't take this fight.
IU just doesn't have an answer for anything PNW is doing. They're going to get essentially a free Baron. IU is coming up to try to contest this. I'm not too confident in their chances, but they're going to go for it. Here comes the Gragas. Does he have his ultimate up? He does. He maybe get a big bounce here to win his team this fight.
I think they have to give it a try. This is their only chance back in the game. This could be a little risky for Purdue Northwest. They're taking a lot of damage here from the Baron. Combo King Scatter the Weak lands on the 1. That's a long cooldown committed. Baron is at 5k health. Hook lands onto the Gragas, but they're not going to commit any further. Baron at 4.8. Doubtful goes in. Huge flash from Loki Doki. Clinches on the backline. Cataclysm comes down. Charm lands on the 2 wheels. People on the backline on the Winky. They're super weak, but Combo King and Loki Doki are completely isolated from the rest of their team. Double kill to Klexo, and Prank is going to finish it off with a double kill of his own. Baron over to Purdue Northwest.
The Hail Mary Baron play that Indiana needed has been swiftly denied and shut down. This is absolutely massive for PNW. They've extended their gold lead by so much already. They're going to get this Baron. They're going to start pushing these lanes in, and suddenly what became a tall order for Indiana has just turned into a nearly insurmountable mountain.
If we could get somebody in production to click on Syndra, I would love to see how many stacks she has, because it didn't even look like that Scatter the Weak was upgraded, which means she's not even to 80 splinters yet, which would be, it would feel really bad not to be at 80 splinters right now, and that would explain a lot of the lack of damage that we're having here from the Syndra. We're not going to get it right now, but that's all right. Eventually we'll get there.
Hopefully, in the interim, we are going to be seeing, I mean, you have the Baron buff, you have so much map pressure, you have such an item, a gold, and experience lead overall. This is just PNW trying to run things to the end as quickly as possible. Combo King going to get poked down for so much. Those Soraka heals really feel like the only thing that is keeping any of the members of Indiana alive in these team fights, and even that is not enough. Pranked on a killing spree.
And yeah, PNW is just slowly suffocating IU here. They could end this game any moment. One team fight and it's all over. They're already down one member. They have the one-person advantage for this fight as they're going to take this top tower. Jarvan jumps in, tries to fight, but he gets charmed, and he's going to go down despite the Soraka ultimate, and everyone's just dumping their ults, and PNW is cleaning up this fight as they are able to tower dives.
Whoa! All right, throw out the style points a bit, Klexo, as PNW will be taking this Nexus Game 2. Going to Purdue Northwest, and they show no signs of slowing down.
Sending us to a bracket reset for a grand final.
Grand final. What a amazing showing from PNW here. I am very excited to see how IU decides to change things up to make these next couple of games go better for them.
Man, I really wish they would have gone on red side that game, so you can experiment with not being in do or die now, but this next game is going to have to answer a lot of our questions. Where's your draft adaptation come from, and then how do you translate that into better play?
Yeah, there's so much. There's so much I want to talk about. Obviously, Purdue Northwest has just been shown to be so adaptable. It's really just impressive seeing how they've seen some things that aren't working against IU, so they just shake things up a bit. They try things a bit differently. I think we might be seeing an Aurelia ban actually coming up onto those ban lists, because Klexo has just proven to be a menace on this pick, and IU just need to find an answer to what Purdue has been throwing at them.
Yeah, so far those last two games we saw a bit of a mid gap, not necessarily in the player's skill reason. They just keep getting counterpicked. And we need to see some better drafts, especially in the mid lane, so that they can do something and take these games back.
Yeah, I just want to see IU give their solo laners a chance, because when you're not giving them a chance, you're hurting your jungler, and when you're hurting your jungler, you're hurting your bot lane, and it just spreads out through the whole game. There's a saying that some high elo people say that on a team, you're passing the baton from one player to another, and if your mid laner can never hold the baton, he can never give it to his jungler to go make a play. And the baton has been in Klexo's hand these past two games.
And we've seen how many different champions IU's jungler can play well. I believe that they don't need to first pick the Jarvan, they don't need to first pick for him. Get your laners what they need, get those counter picks. Yeah, they just need to change up their draft, really.
Yeah, I completely agree, but we're going to have a 10-minute break before we get to the grand finals.
Oh, boy.
And we will be back with those and hopefully see some adaptation here from IU and make this a competitive final best of 3.
Don't go anywhere.
10 minutes.